Good afternoon, good day, good morning from Immersed with Allison. And I am just so thrilled to have the Synano group with me today to talk a little bit about their nano fluids, which, for me is such an interesting, amazing word. Whenever I think of nano fluids, I think of like little robots. So you guys, but I'm sure you're going to correct us today. But I've had such a pleasure. It feels like I've known you guys for a really, really, really long time, but I think it's only been about like 2 years, right? And the first time I met you and got to see you present amazing presentation on Synano and the nanofluids was in Dublin, Ireland, and we all just like had such a great time. And I want to introduce Sana and Svetozaar. So yay, I nailed his name. And he's a little nervous, which I can't believe because somebody that salsa dances is a little nervous to be on camera. But yeah, so just saying.
It's a different skill, okay?
Okay, I got it. You gotcha. And I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves, but I know you had some amazing things. You had a great booth at OCP Summit in San Jose last year. Huge booth. I love it. And then you got an amazing presentation that you made this year in stunning Barcelona, Spain, for a case study you guys did with GRC. So I'm going to let you introduce yourselves, talk to us, tell us about Synano and all the wonderful things you guys are doing.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you for having us on your podcast. It's a pleasure to be here. If it's okay, I can begin with my introduction. So my name is Sana Fateh. I am founder and CEO of Synano. I have my background in mechanical engineering, specifically process and energy technology. So I'm a thermal engineer by background. And I started with Synano in 2017 after I graduated from Technical University of Delft in the Netherlands. Since then, I've been working to develop these nanoparticle-based liquids or suspensions with water glycol solutions, and now also with immersion oils to improve the overall thermal performance and thermal characteristics of base oils. So this is in short my introduction. Now to Svetozaar.
Hey, I'm Svetozaar from the BD team, responsible for BD activities, background, Master of Strategic Management at the Rotterdam School of Management. And I'm basically responsible for finding people who want and need our technology the most. As simple as that.
I love that. So tell us again a little bit about your OCP journey, what brought you guys to that, because again, you very quickly came in and been able to do amazing presentations, which those are very coveted and sought after, pieces of the puzzle. And so tell us a little bit about that journey and how you got involved and how you learned about OCP2.
Ultimately, everything we do comes to the same problem. Everything we do at Synano, and that's if you look at the data center industry and the raising chip densities combined with then higher energy costs and less grid availability and so on, it's just everything is hitting bottlenecks. Everything is on its edges. It's always being pushed to the next step. But there's one part of this ecosystem which has been kind of overlooked for a long time, and that's the fluid, right? Fluid is one of the bottlenecks in the whole system, a thermal bottleneck, but also energy efficiency bottleneck. And here at Synano, we came up with a technology to suspend nanoparticles homogeneously in any kind of fluid, any kind of cooling fluid, either oils or water glycol suspensions. And that's what we're about. We're bringing this technology to various industries, and first and foremost to the data center industry. And because this 5, 10, even 25% thermal and energy efficiency enhancements then cascade down the whole system.
Yeah. So that's one of the major reasons how we came in contact with the OCP group, the Open Compute program, Open Compute Project Foundations. So because we are concentrating on developing these improved or enhanced nanoparticle enhanced cooling liquids, specifically for data center systems, liquid cooled data centers, both for DLC systems and for immersion cooling systems. So initially we were in touch with Rolf Brink, who was previous owner of Esperitas and now with Immersion. Through him, we actually got a chance to become a startup member of the OCP community 2 years ago. We had our first presentation, describing what nanofluids are or how nanoparticles can contribute into improvement of these immersion oils somewhere in October 2024. And we got a very warm welcome and we got quite some traction there. So a lot of the OCP partners actually approached us to ask and know more about this. And it actually boosted our confidence. And then we started putting more time into the OCP initiative, getting in touch with more partners, collaborating with them. And then, as you mentioned, the first time we presented in Dublin with our nanofluids, which got actually some attention. And we had more inquiries coming on. And then in San Jose, we came up with our, the demo, with the booth, with the demo unit, with a server actually immersed in a nano immersion oil, just to show and to create awareness how nano oils actually look like.
Yeah.
And then the main question which comes is, have you done long-term testing? How does the nano oils perform in long term? Will the particles settle, or will there be some material compatibility issues? Will my server die? So we did a long-term testing with GRC and Grundfos, who are also part of the OCP community. And thanks to OCP community, we were in touch with them. So we did a long-term test, like 4 months test with these partners in real GRC cooling systems with real servers to see how the performance would be. And we see with the GTL-based liquid, GTL-based nano-oil, and we see a consistent improvement of around an average of 12% compared to the base fluid. Without any material incompatibility issues, without any other problems, the pumps are still running and they have seen no problems with that. So it was a very good result, which we are very also proud of. And we presented these results and this finding also during the Barcelona breakout session in Spain.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you think of that percentage, I mean, but then it's that percentage on top of all the other wonderful percentages that are the advantages of immersion, right? Too. So it just that's actually a really good, that's a huge number of a increase in for your energy efficiency and then for performance reasons. And so like when we take the fans off, that's 10%. So you start to like chip away. And it just gets more and more attractive. Your presentation was amazing, and I thought it was great. By the way, it's on the newsletter that just went out last week. So the link, if you haven't seen it, go. If you haven't got the newsletter, it's also on the OCP Wiki page itself. The recording to your presentation, really, really interesting. And if you're interested in immersion, go check it out. So I know you guys have such a long history with the immersion community. You mentioned Svetozaar and now GRC and plus a plethora of different fluids and the GTL fluid. So tell me though, I did hear like you guys kind of hinted around too that you have some also some DLC technology that you're pushing out, and that is pretty attractive in regards to what you do. So tell us a little bit about that too.
Okay, so it started with Immersion, as you said, almost 2 years ago. That was the Dublin conference, San Jose, Barcelona, and just very recently we've realized that this technology this improvement can be transferred into direct-to-chip fluids as well. And we've already had a water glycol-based formulation, which had an incremental improvement. But then, as we were optimizing this formulation, we realized that the nanoparticles we were using and that the aluminum suspension itself has an antibacterial properties. And you might be thinking, what does this mean, right? But really, the reason for using PG25 in the industry is that it's biostatic.
Right.
It's just so easy to maintain. Maybe some antifreeze protection for logistics and for Northern Hemisphere. Okay, that's nice. But it's mostly the antibacterial properties.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with PG is that the thermal transfer in comparison to water is like almost 30% less. So we're leaving almost 30% of that thermal efficiency on the table just because you want a biostatic fluid, and because water-based coolants are so difficult to maintain, and you need these programs in every half year, every 3 months, and that's really expensive and really annoying, and it can go wrong, of course. So recently, we've developed and are working on a water nano-based formulation, which is meant for direct to chip, and it replaces, first time ever, replaces the need for PG25, which then doesn't give a small improvement, but at least 25% of thermal and an energy efficiency improvement for the existing direct to chip liquid cooling single phase infrastructure.
Yes. So we are basically working with two products here. One is PG25 nano coolant, which provides around 6 to 7% of heat transfer improvement over the base PG25 that is commercially available. And at the same time, as Svetozaar mentioned, we are focusing, or we are trying to attack the problem which the industry is facing, which is the biostatic nature of the PG25, and how to develop something with water which makes the water inherently biostatic or inherently antimicrobial in nature. And we find through testing in our labs that adding nanoparticles actually gives this how do you say this bacterial inhibition properties. The growth is inhibited, the kill rate is around 98.9%. If 9 parts of nanocoolant is mixed with 1 part of river water with all sorts of microbes and bacteria that you can imagine, which will be present in water systems. So that, and this particular water-based nanocoolant can then replace PG25. And of course, if you replace PG or propylene glycol from the system, you can expect to have more than 25% of increase in thermal conductivity, reduction in viscosities, and then overall heat transfer improvement is quite high, very significant. And I think most of the server manufacturers or cooling OEMs, they are trying to actually push more towards getting water-based products, certified or specification, developed for this particular purpose actually. So we are happy to say that we have something here. So.
Yeah. Okay, so just in a little over 3 months, I'll be seeing you guys again at OCP in San Jose. Very exciting. And looking forward to seeing your moves on the dance floor at our Keeping It Liquid Forever Fluid event at Scott Seafood Ballroom, Svetozaar. So anyway, get us impressed, okay? But just tell me a little bit about what your plans for OCP for the rest of this year. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so as you know that we are working on 2 product lines currently. One is the water and pure water and water glycol based liquids for the DLC systems, and the other one is with the oils, with GTL, PAO, ester based, any type of oils for the immersion cooling line. So we're trying to now in the coming months commercialize both these product lines because finished products are ready to go on the market. So we are looking at collaborating with OCP community, getting these available to the market, creating more awareness in the market about these nano additives. And maybe in San Jose when we meet, you will see that one of the partners in OCP is already using one of these products.
I love it. I love it. And, you know what? That's what it's all about. Rising tides lift all boats, right? So,
and for OCP. OCP, Svetozaar?
Oh yeah, and while being busy with all of these activities, we're also working on including nano additives into the fluid specifications of OCP. And that first through Immersion group, because that's where we have more experience and a year of testing with our OCP partners. Shout out to OCP. And while doing so, or after, also including nano additives as an official recognized fluid type or fluid enhancement in the PG documentation. So those are the 2 next steps for our OCP track.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great. Those are absolutely pivotal, right? So I love that. again, rising tides lift all boats. I think I said that, but and you know, I think I just shared with you guys something you didn't know, that the next OCP EMEA is going to be really, really close to you guys in Hamburg, Germany. So I know April of 2027. So it'll be here before we know it. So you'll have to start thinking, you know, about what you'll do there. And so closing final thoughts. What are your final thoughts about this solution that you guys have obviously spent a whole lot of your time and effort and energy, and you can tell it's a very much passion, your passion for this. So
yeah, I think nanoparticles are for everyone. You can put these nano additives in any kind of solution out there, any kind of cooling liquids out there, and you can benefit from them. We just need to find the right use, the right application, and I think it is a solution which is applicable for everyone. Yeah, Svetozaar, what do you think?
So if you're a data center or a liquid cooling OEM, we genuinely invite you to reach out to us to see how much improvement is possible on the thermal side, on the energy efficiency side of the whole system, but also on the extra compute revenue that can be unlocked by putting this improvement, this higher efficiency through a higher energy efficiency cooling fluid into the liquid cooling loops.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you've really hit on that, you know, I said something at Data Cloud Global where we haven't been thinking of fluid as infrastructure. And unfortunately, it has been almost an afterthought. If you ask someone, what kind of fluid are you using? A lot of times they don't even know. So we have to start changing that and changing the mentality that this can actually be an added sustainable solution that then you can have all the benefits from that perspective as well. So, all right, guys, more to come. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And you guys are always some of my favorite people anyway in the industry. So
thank you so much for having us.
Of course. And until next time, talk soon. After OCP, when all these great announcements, okay? All right. It's a deal. All right. Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you later. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.